Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I'm your host, Hery Acosta. Now, you may see that it looks like I'm just like floating in outer space or something. I recently moved, so I kind of have like my new desk and stuff in a new spot. Don't have anything behind me, so it kind of looks like one of those Zoom backgrounds, when you put like that little filter behind you. But, you know, I'm excited. This is a big move, but we're here. Put out some more videos. And today's gonna be a fun one because the Pacers have done something today that they haven't done and they don't do a lot of, and that's win a game. And it's kind of funny seeing the Pacers win like a series because we're 2-1 against the Heat this year. Pretty much just the Heat and the Chicago Bulls are the only teams where we've beaten like a series. And it's been pretty funny, pretty interesting. And then we have random wins against like Orlando, Oklahoma, New York. Steve random is and Golden State. Some pretty good teams, but I got my Harry's Halliburton shirt on. This is a pretty cool design. But let's just hop straight into it. Big game, 135 to 118. That's our 17th win this year. And usually that's a good sign if you're, 20 or 25 games in, but we're 73, 75 games in. Only 7 games left, so torture of the season is almost over. Big game from Siakam, 30 and 11. Another big game from Nemhard, 15 and 10. Everyone was pretty efficient today. 11-24 shooting from Siakam, 6 of 12 from Nemhard, 5 of 6 from Q. He had 10 points, 18 points for Kobe Brown, 7 of 11. And then I'm going to talk about him here in a second. But Micah Potter has just been ridiculous this season. He's, in my opinion, deserves a contract next year. We should run it with 3 centers like we usually do because some games Jay Huff is better. I mean, this game he had 6 points, 5 rebounds, but Micah Potter had 21 points and 7 and 9 shooting and 5 of 6 from three. In the first quarter, he had 14 points and he played about 4 minutes of that first quarter because Siakam had started at center. Ethan Thompson started. He had 3 points and a rebound. Slauson had 4 rebounds. And then topping off the bench at 12 and then 15 and 9 from TJ McConnell. It's overall pretty much just like a last season game for the Pacers. Everyone was just firing on all cylinders. For the Heat, Tyler Hero had 31 points. Adebayo had 83. I'm just kidding. He had 15 and 12, so not horrible from Adebayo. 15 points for Larson and Andrew Wiggins, 12 for Mitchell, 17 for Jaquez. Rest of the bench wasn't doing too much, so nothing crazy. And then, but I want to talk about Micah Potter because I was looking at Micah Potter stats early, and on ESPN you can actually see like their total career stats. Micah Potter has more points in this season than he did in his first 4 seasons combined. He has more rebounds, more assists, and the crazy thing is, he's played 39 games for the Pacers. Well, 40 include this one. Played 40 games. And it's not like his points per game averages are crazy. Now, rebounding numbers were a little off. He did average about the same number of rebounds last year but his overall numbers, at least points wise, it's like crazy compared to his career numbers. Just because and he's averaging the same amount of minutes that he did in Utah last year. It's exact 18.6, but he's instead of averaging 4, he's averaging 8.9 points per game. But then the reason that the career numbers look so weird is because in his first 2 seasons with Utah, he only played 23 total games and he was averaging less than 4 points a game. And then with Detroit, he only played 3 games. He scored a total of 12 points. So that's kind of why that's the case. But just recently, 21 and 13 in his last 2 games. He had a slew of games where he didn't really play too much because Jay Huff was having some good performances. And we've just been kind of testing different things, testing the waters just to see kind of who does what, who's going to be there for next season. But overall, good team win. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and underdog is the best place to get on all the action. Playing underdog is easy. Just choose where your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, or more. Get your pick sharp, you want the 5,000 times your cash. Now, as I'm recording this, there is a Nuggets Warriors game going on, so obviously that's not what we're gonna talk about. But for the day this video drops, we're just gonna talk about two Celtic players, Tatum and Brown. Brown's at 27.5, Tatum's at 23.5. Against Atlanta, I'm gonna flip flop. I'm gonna go Tatum higher, Brown lower. I think they're both gonna finish around 25 points. Just a monster game from both of them is what I'm expecting. I don't think Brown's gonna really go 30. Plus, he's coming off an injury where he had a little bit of a sore Achilles, which that actually kind of sucks that both star players have been dealing with Achilles injuries. But we're the Pacers, we're the Colts, Indiana fans, Achilles. Yeah, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Anyone knows where that's from. Elite ball knowledge. But that's my predictions for that. Use promo code basketballfan to score $75 on bonus entries when you play your first $5. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-878 or text HOMI 467-369.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, we shot 58% from the field. That's one of the best shooting games from any team this year. We shot 53 of 92, 18 of 39 from three, which that is 46%, and we're 85% from the free throw line. Now, the only person that missed a free throw today was Siakam, which if Siakam can better that free throw percentage, this team is actually going to be ridiculous next year. Also, I will talk slightly about this, and then in my next segment, I will talk a little bit about March Madness because it has been madness. But no, shooting 58% from the field, that's amazing. That is definitely something to be hype about because next year we're gonna have all of our stars back. Halliburton and Zubac will be back, and I'm happy. I'll be very happy. Okay, before I talk about our son Chicago, I want to talk about March Madness a little bit. Mostly talk about how a kid from Greenfield, from right down the street, pretty much from Indianapolis, hit a game winner against Duke. First things first. What the hell was Caden Boozer thinking? He practically handed UConn the game. Does anyone know the Michael Ruffin play? It was the Wizards versus the Raptors of mid 2000s. Michael Ruffin pretty much steals the ball off an inbound. All he has to do is literally hold the ball. Instead, he randomly finger rolls it into the air, just chucks it into the air. It's caught by Mo Peterson of the Raptors. Chucks a three, makes it. Game goes to overtime. Toronto ends up winning. That's pretty much what this was. All Kane Boozer had to do was hold the ball. Instead, he just throws it to UConn. And there's Mullins. From 30 feet out. Crazy. Crazy that Duke ended up losing like that. I made 5 brackets, right? I made 5 brackets where I had 5 different champions because I wanted to kind of cover bases. I think 3 of my champions are out, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, because I had Michigan, Purdue, Duke, Arizona, and Iowa State. Funny, I didn't choose Florida, and they were actually the worst #1 seed this year. But Michigan's still in the Final Four after a dominant win against Tennessee, and Arizona beat Purdue. But my Duke bracket literally cannot get any more points. Neither can my Duke or Purdue bracket can't do anything else. Neither can my Iowa State. So I just have those 2 brackets active. My women's bracket was pretty decent. I'm actually second in my group by a few points. But that's a UConn. I have UConn winning in the women's. There's no reason to root against UConn whatsoever. But back to NBA. Chicago, they have a lot of injuries, and they're also not good at basketball. So this play, they have 4 players on the season-ending injury, but one of them being Jaden Ivey. I don't know what the heck's going on with Jaden Ivey. He had that really bad injury in Detroit, and then I don't know where he just doesn't get minutes in Chicago. He played 4 minutes this year and averaged 11, 4 games, averaged 11 points per game. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. Boom, baby. There's nothing behind me, so just go, sirs.